Hello, Curtis.
Hello, Jesse.
Hello, all you wonderful folks out in live chat land or on repeat, replay, whatever, recycle. Welcome.
You gotta tell them good morning. You always tell them good morning.
Well, good morning.
There you go.
It's good morning. Thank you for joining us on this lovely evening, afternoon, morning time period, whatever it is when you're watching this for season 2, episode 17 of Shooting the Shelf.
We got new names too.
Oh, well, no, Jessibediah has been my name for a while.
Oh, okay. Well, I got a new name.
Yeah, Cortissimo. I like that. Hello to all the folks in the chat: Dave, Orkin, Carlo, Mark House, Seal. Why is he calling us Bitcoins? Brian from Carver Customs. Who else am I seeing out there? I think that's everybody in the chat so far. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, I know we've got a great show, awesome guests, all that kind of stuff. Before we get in there, I got some housekeeping got to take care of. So, a couple things. Number one, Legend.e Facebook group. If you're not part of it, join that. That is where you can find information on all the different shows that we've got going on, and that's the Legends of Grayskull podcast, the Shooting the Shelf, and our OffWorld, which is a really fun show that we're doing on Fridays now with me, Jesse, Matthew Dooch, and Sean Scavarna. If you're not watching that, you should be because it's a lot of fun. A couple things on there. One is the 100th episode of Legends of Grayskull is coming up. And I see that Matthew Dooch is looking for feedback on your favorite moment from that show. I encourage everybody that watches this show to go on there and either message, or there's a phone number that you can call in a voicemail and just troll the heck out of him. I can say that here safely because he doesn't listen to the show. So, put in a pizza order, put in your favorite moment from Podcasters of the Universe, which they stole their idea from. Anything you want to do to really just troll the heck out of Matthew Dooch, I would greatly appreciate that. And then also, a little housekeeping from Friday. I had made the mistake of saying that, there was a connection between Army Hammer and Arm & Hammer, and then Dooch said I was wrong. Turns out I was right, partially. So Army Hammer, his granddad did own Arm & Hammer, but they didn't create Arm & Hammer. They bought it afterward because of the connection with the name. They had controlling interest. So I'm going to give myself half credit on that. So any of you thought that I was wrong on Friday, I was half wrong, and that's about as close as you get with me being wrong. So there you go. So that was
I'm all wrong all the time. So
okay, yeah, I only get half sometimes. So that was the housekeeping I had. So I appreciate you bearing with me on that. So thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome. And now that we've got Curtis's housekeeping out of the way, let's dig in to the show tonight. We've got an awesome guest joining us all the way from New York. Give a warm digital round of welcome, applause, all of the above, to Lenny Kingpin Customs.
Golf clap. Yes.
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Nothing much. Hey, excited.
It's going to be a good show. It's going to be fun.
Yes. I have a little teaser. We'll share it a little bit later, but Lenny sent me something that he's been working on, so I've got it set up in the slides for later. So it'll be exciting to share that with all of you in a little while.
Yeah,
thanks for joining.
We'll talk mythics and have some fun, and then later on I got a bone to pick with Lenny, so we'll address that.
Yeah, I did not know about the bone, so I apologize.
It's fine. I mean, this show, you need a little drama every now and then, so we'll throw a little bone out there that I've got to pick. But
don't need drama on this show. Yeah, this is a family show.
It's all right. It's not gonna be unprofessional, but it's we got to address some things. We got to clear the air. So.
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
Selections?
Shelf selections. Let's get into that. Let's get Lenny here up at the top. Oh, nice. And since Lenny is here, I'm going to throw up our groovy little banner.
Ooh, beauty mess. Hold on, let me silence my phone.
With his stuff, his info on there as well. All right, shelf selections. First up is... See, the fun thing about these is Curtis doesn't know what order I put these in, and he doesn't see mine because he sends them to me. So,
I do not.
Yeah. So you have no idea what's up, and I forget what order I put them in. So it's a surprise for everybody.
That's cool. So this is another one that I kind of showed one last week, and it looks like an amazing figure here, right? This Omega Red. But guess what? It's not a figure. That is cosplay.
That's cosplay.
And it is phenomenal. This is Nerd Alert cosplay. And just amazing. Like I don't even know how much work would go into something like this. But it's phenomenal. I love this. You know, it's one of those things where it's like I'm not a cosplayer myself, and I don't have like I've seen some good and bad cosplay, and I'm just gonna say, like, for those of you out here that cosplay, if you're gonna do it right. And this guy is doing it right. Like, look at it. This is just phenomenal. So
That's insane. That looks
I know
so good.
yeah. I know I said this last week, but I usually don't look closely at your pictures so I can appreciate them when we watch the show or do the show. But I was like, oh man, what kind of figure is that? And then I was like, oh, that's a painting. And then I saw the second one where he's on the car, and I was like, oh, that's a dude. That's a suit. Holy crap.
Yeah, that's a dude. It's pretty good. The one that I showed last week with the which was Hummin H2, I believe, with the Juggernaut, there were some pictures with him and this guy together, like, you know, so I knew I wanted to save this one for this week. So yeah. Yes, I am
Nate
good.
is funny.
My just so you know, Nate, my hair was doing some crazy stuff, and I just ran with it and decided to go the full Len route. So there we go. This is my
I gotta
80s
be honest.
wrestling look.
I saw the car, and I started to wonder, like, what toy was that? And then it just hit me, like, this is not a toy. This is a full getup.
Yeah. I had to crop the picture to fit them both on there because the way I do the slides is dumb. But yeah, I wish I could have shown more of that car. My bad.
And he's got plenty other, like, this isn't just like the only one that he does. Obviously, most cosplayers have like multiple things so, you know, check out his Instagram. A lot of cool stuff on there. But yeah, this is doing it right.
Yeah, that's like, if that Omega Red showed up in a movie, I would have no complaints.
No, that's fine. It's so good. I think it's an underappreciated character in the X-Men universe too. Like,
Really,
you don't see, like, I mean, we had all those movies. We never got one version of Omega Red in any of those Fox
He's
movies.
in Deadpool too.
Is he?
I believe so. Someone's credited as
Oh
Omega
yeah,
Red.
he's just like a quick shot in the prison cell. But I'm saying like an actual, like, fighting them. Like,
I'm pretty sure it's just some random dude too. Like, I think he's like bald and has a tattoo of the Omega symbol or something.
yeah. We need a live action Omega Red in the movies. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So
my first pick was from Lee Zaku in the Cabal. I don't really know what Berserker is, but I know some folks, it might have been Lee on one of the shows recently talking about it. So when I saw this, I know that giant sword is a Berserker thing. That's about as much as I know. I just thought it looked really cool. And I thought that was a pretty epic pose. So
I do not know what Berserker is. I do like the picture. I think that tattered cape is awesome. I normally am not a big fan of the frog helmet, but I think it works with this, especially with the oversized sword. And then the background on there, like when you first pulled this up, my immediate thought was Fortress of Solitude. Like, it's got that kind of bluish, hue to the background. It just looks really cool. It looks very icy and cold, and so that plays well off of the full armor and cape and everything. So
yeah, I really like that sword.
yeah,
I know.
I think I need to get one done.
It looks very Final Fantasy-ish.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I just thought that was really cool, and I remember someone was talking about Berserk. Oh, I think maybe it was Friday night maybe it was last week, in the off week on OffWorld, where someone they were getting ready to announce Berserk stuff for SH Figure Arts or something, I think.
I don't even know. Well, so JG seems disappointed in us. I don't even know. Is that a movie? Is it a show? Is that
it's an anime? I do know it's an anime. Yeah.
But it's an animated show or an animated movie, or do we not know?
I just know it's an anime. I don't know if it's a show or a movie. I'm assuming it's a show.
All right. Well, if somebody in our comments could help us out, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, listen. I'm watching dance movies right now, so I'm not above,
Hey,
whatever.
That's a different show. What's a different show?
I'm just saying, I'm not above watching something new. So,
moving on.
Stefan says it's both, so it must be a movie and a show. So
yeah,
and a manga.
Yeah, and I don't know what that is.
It's a comic.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the
Japanese format comic.
Gotcha. I thought that was the Asian.
That's where you read backwards.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. This one is mine. This is Hockey Coop. Once again, I'm continuing my, searching for folks out there that I have not followed, that are doing awesome stuff, so that I find another person to follow, and I can just increase the amount of awesomeness on my Instagram feed, and also bring it to you folks in case you're not following these great people. So this is obviously the Mezco Batman. He's got him, a couple different scenes in the Batcave, one coming out of the Batmobile with the Alfred that has the movie head. That Alfred is from the DC, I think it's DC Direct line. And it comes with like 3 or 4 different heads, including the kind of 89 movie Alfred head, which is awesome. So just love the way those shots are set up. The first one, him getting out and Alfred there, is cool. And then the second one with him just kind of walking like out of that section of the Batcave. I just love the way those shots are set up.
Yeah, definitely go check it out, because I cropped it down so much. It's got like a cave open. I'm doing the mouse thing again. It's cropped around that Batman where he's like walking into like the dark mouth of the tunnel silhouette and stuff. It is, definitely go check out his page.
And I would say too, for if you don't own this Mezco Batman, I think the more impressive thing about this is what he's able to have done with the cape there, because that cape is not easy to maneuver. It's not the best cape. Like, it looks cool, but maneuvering it and posing it in certain ways is not the easiest. So the fact he's able to get him in these like flowing shots is pretty impressive.
Well, he's got him in the walking pose too.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It's not DC Multiverse that Alfred. It is. It wasn't the McFarlane one. It's like before that. I think it's DC Direct, but I know there was a
multiverse before the McFarlane stuff.
Oh yeah, okay.
Because that's what the Aquaman movie line and the Shazam movie line was from and stuff.
Gotcha. So it may be that. I know it's not McFarlane. It was before McFarlane. I know I had to pay a pretty penny for mine, but Mattel DC Multiverse. Okay. So, but it is a really cool figure. And it comes with a little tray it's got like a little Batman cowl that you can put on the tray with like a glass of milk and stuff. It's, it's like, good morning, Bruce. Here's some milk and your Batman cowl.
I always love that moment in the second movie in Batman Returns where he like goes to eat the soup and he's like,
it's cold.
It's cold. And he's like, it's fishy swa, sir. It's supposed to be cold.
Oh,
and he does like he does that horrible like DJ thing with the CD.
Yeah. So
anyway, these are great. It almost looks like a set photo.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
This one I had to. This is a friend of mine, Luke. I saw him. He was showing me the work on this week. He was all excited. He found. I guess he went to Ollie's, got a Shrike figure from Marvel Legends and some Hasbro Fortnite figure. He's like, I'm making a tank girl. And like, he just did this over like the last day and a half. And I just thought that was really cool. I've never seen the movie, but I know it's really popular. And I thought he did a really good job of converting those two figures into something completely different. So
I think the figure looks great. I think the movie is complete garbage. But I think the figure of what he did here is pretty awesome. I know there's people that do like that, and I know there's some unpopular movies that I like, so I'm not crapping on them, but I can't. I think that movie's pretty bad. But yeah, this figure looks awesome.
Yeah, I think just like the way he like shaved off all the hair. Again, there was multiple pictures, but I try to keep them to one slide. But yeah, I thought he did a pretty good job with that.
Mm-hmm.
And who knew you'd make a? I don't have anything against Fortnite, but didn't think you could make a Fortnite figure look that cool.
Apparently, Dave Orkin does not like my take on Tank Girl, so sorry. Okay, so another new one for me, Shadow Frontier toy photography, and I had a hard time picking one photo from this one because he had a lot of cool stuff, but this Voltron, you know, just the way that sword is lighting up, and like you got the like if you look closely on the ground, there's like all this like, you know, pebbles and stuff, and it just, I don't know, just looks really cool. I just fell in love with this shot, so I had to use this one. But
That's
I love how the blazing sword came out. That came out amazing.
Yeah. Shadow Frontier toy photography.
Very nice. All right, what do we got next? David Williams bringing in the heat on the repainting the heads pack head from the All Stars 5 wave into matching Milena, which that yellow is, I hate painting with yellow, and I'm about to be doing some of it, so I was inspired by his yellow painting here, so I wanted to share that one tonight.
Yeah, yellow is one of those that's hard to match properly because there's I don't know, it's just so, it's so hard to get the color exactly right, and you try to change it just a little bit, and it's like it just changes very quickly. It's kind of like doing Caucasian flesh tones, where it's like it doesn't take much to change it completely. So that's a really good match you got there for sure.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if the picture's showing up real good, but he's got like the eye makeup and everything, just like the old toy and everything.
The green eyeshadow looks nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he killed it with that one. Just a head change made such a difference.
Yeah.
This is my last one. Another new one for me, and this one's actually is a Mythic Legion one, and it looks like all the standard parts. I don't see anything customized on here, but I just really like the photo, just the lighting, the way that it, like normally Purpler isn't one of those characters that I see a lot of toy photography of. You know, it's you see a lot of Magnus or skeletons and stuff like that. So you don't see a lot of Purpler, and I really liked this shot and the lighting that he got on it. It just popped out at me. So as I was kind of scrolling through some Mythic Legion post. So,
and I could be wrong. I know he's in the chat right now, or he was Brian from Carver. If that looks like one of your lanterns, but I could be wrong.
I do believe it is. Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm not sure if that's a homemade die or if that's somebody's in the background. I don't recognize that one either. But yeah, I think that definitely is one of Carver's lamps.
Yeah, that's a really cool shot. I love how, it's got like the dark exterior with the warm light from the lantern or the torch and everything. It's a really cool shot. Let's see, I think, my mouse is dying. And my last one, I thought you would like this one, Curtis, since it's World of Warcraft inspired. Pushenjlay 9. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go like that one. I don't think I'm following him.
But yeah, it got some real strong. I forget what named character. I'm pretty sure it was a named character from.
Oh, really?
World of Warcraft. At least I thought I saw a name. Maybe he was just saying that was the vibes that he was trying to go for. But
gotcha.
Yeah, I saw that. I really like that because that's ogre scale.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
I thought that was an orc at first. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure he's got. I don't know if those are custom feet or if those kind of look like Ninja Turtle feet. But that looks like ogre scale to me.
Oh, okay. Actually, I am following him. I just didn't see that. That is
okay.
Awesome. I'm liking that right now.
Zul'jin. Yeah. That's the name they had on there.
Okay. Gotcha. And yes, I do know that character. I was going to say, because to me, this looks more orcish than troll, but it looks like it's got the troll armor. But yeah, Zul'jin is a troll. So I probably just don't, the way that photo is, I don't think. Yeah,
I
like
think
if you
just
zoom in on the face, you can see it's troll.
there's
So,
the anatomy is a little different because I know the trolls are a little more like
yeah,
curved,
skinny
hunched and stuff.
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
And
well, I don't know where he got those armor pieces or if he sculpted those or I don't know, but that's awesome.
yeah. Oh, wait,
That's actually pretty impressive.
are those Archimedes toes? Doesn't he have like two? Doesn't someone have two toes in the ogres?
No, he's got Archimedes has got 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's a custom foot.
Okay. Well, they definitely look like Ninja Turtle feet then.
Yeah, they do.
Is there a ogre sized turtle out there that he could?
I mean, there's the 12-inch or 18-inch Neko ones. Someone might have he might have been able to sculpt it or I don't know. With 3D printers, people do amazing stuff.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that a lot.
And that's it for the shelf selections. Oh, before we go on, I do want to throw this up here real quick. For those of you who have not, you have a little over an hour and a half to get in your Outpost Zaxius orders from Store Horseman before it goes to the retailer. So if anybody wants to get in on that, go do that now because we'll probably be talking right up into the end of that. So
what about the pop and swap? Is that done now or was that, I thought that was going till tonight too, wasn't
that
it? That
also ends, I believe, at 11 p.m. tonight. So check out the Legion's Lounge. The rules for all that, I'm pretty sure that Trevor has that posted somewhere. And get those in before 11 o'clock tonight. And there's a couple different categories.
We got Walter in here too. Sweet.
Yeah, Walter's here. Trevor's in now. Hedgehog. Star's here. A couple other folks. I know we're missing some of you, but I apologize. We appreciate all of you being here tonight.
Cool.
Yes, Pop and Swap does end at 11 o'clock tonight. Thank you, Nate.
Beautiful. What's your favorite out of that pre-order for today for this wave, the Cosmic?
That's for you, Lenny.
I meant all of us, but yeah.
Well, I'll let you go first.
Go ahead, Lenny. You go first.
So I don't recall the name because their names are a bit complicated still. But there's one that's red and black. That he's armored red and black. The one over on the left.
The red jet, the
pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Just the colors just stood out to me. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's my favorite too. I mean, I like all the Tusk that they've done so far. Like they're definitely my favorites. And that red jet came out fantastic. Because I think the Manny Faces tribute is the best tribute that they've done, and that would be my second favorite. But that red jet is just so good. So.
Yeah, the Many Faces, I love the colors too, the way they matched it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the colors were spot on that. So that would be my top 2.
Yeah. Jesse?
I think my favorite, it's hard to pick. I love the story behind the traditionalist, the Greyborn, the one on the far right. I really like that story, and I really like the story on the Sphexians. How it like how they sing their song and all that stuff for him. I just think that's really cool. Sphexians are probably my favorite out of the whole Cosmic Wave or all the line at this point. And I usually don't like bugs, so I really dig those. But Scourge and Kalian Shun really stand out to me as well. So, but I'll hopefully get in the Scourge at PowerCon.
Did you just name the entire wave as your favorite? Is that what?
No, okay. all but the two you named. But
Jesse really likes all of them, people.
I really like all the stories, but I think my favorite is probably Kalian Shun with Scourge as a close second, but mainly because I want to have a green dragonborn, not so much as himself.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not surprised that you picked the female because you usually do like the female characters.
I mean, hey, I do.
He likes what you likes.
I like what I like.
She is cool. I do think she's got a very cool bounty hunter look to her. So, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they're all awesome. I want all of everything. So I mean,
yep.
To be honest, so
It's tough though, man, because there's so much coming out, and like I really minimized collecting a lot just to focus more on mythics. So what I told myself is I'll catch mythics, regular mythics during pre-orders, but Cosmic Legions I'll catch them at the show at ToyCon, which tends to be the same price as the pre-orders.
You
It's like
East
$2 or
Coast
$3
guys
maybe
make me
off.
sick, man. I tell you what.
You could move east.
I don't need a pre-order. I can just go to a show like 5-6 times a year and get them at a good price. Ugh.
Hey, living on the East Coast has to have some advantages at some point.
Something, right? Has to have something.
You already got the pizza. What else do you need? I mean, come on.
Okay, that's
But
one
hey, Curtis,
thing.
when I go to a show, whatever you need, just give me a checklist. I got you.
You got better pizza, hot dogs, Philly cheesesteaks. I mean,
well,
you know, you got the corner, the market cornered on, you know, good food, and then you also get the cheap figures. You just make me sick.
Come on, Missouri has some good food. Midwest has some good food. Maybe not Missouri.
I mean, if you go to the Kansas City side, yeah, you get some good barbecue. Where I got nothing. What do I got?
Chicago, you got Italian beef.
Okay, that's 6 hours away.
It's still good.
I'm saying I got nothing right here.
Well, I mean,
my life is This is the highlight of my week.
You still got Shoney's and Lambert's, home of the throwed rolls.
Yeah, I guess. All right, enough
of
me.
Fried okra just getting dumped on your table.
Yeah. We do like our fried stuff. Fried pickles, fried okra, fried everything. So
Star's throwing this out. Will the effects be flexible? I'm assuming they'll have some give to them. Just, you know, like I don't know. I don't think we've gotten any of the magic effects yet for Mythics or from the Horsemen, but
I would ask Trevor, but I would guess that what he had for pictures was probably a
like
different material than what is going to be the final material. But yeah, I would be with you. Like, I would imagine there's going to be some flex to it, but who knows?
Trevor, I'll agree with you on bagels, and New York City is pretty awesome. I cannot agree with you on the Atlantic Ocean being great.
What's wrong with swimming in garbage?
I was going to say, especially around New Jersey, New York. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the other thing that's going on right now, and I know I'm with you, Lenny, as far as controlling how much stuff you're trying to buy, but Armies of Ashmore, those dinosaurs, man, fantastic. And I saw they just showed a magic effect for one of the weapons today. So yeah, just keep checking on that Kickstarter. I know he's looking at adding some stuff, and you know, it's yeah, they've already got the albino one, and then there's another one unlock for like 200,000. They've got the weapons pack. So yeah, just keep checking in, because even if you've already placed your initial order, there's other stuff that's coming up, and yeah.
I don't know if that's really a brag, but
yeah, well, there you go. You get to go to work earlier.
No, I wasn't even talking about the East River, Trevor. I know the East River's worse. I'm just saying. I've been in the ocean around New Jersey and New York City, and I'd rather go to the Gulf of Mexico.
That has a benefit. Absolutely, I got to agree with Jesse on that. Yeah.
I'd rather.
If you're just looking at it from a distance, yes, it's fine. If you want to go get in it,
I'd rather be somewhere where you don't have to worry about hurricanes. Would kind of be my preference. So I'm perfectly fine where I'm at. So,
okay.
Yeah.
You have dry hurricanes, so I mean.
Yes.
But yes, Armies Ashmore is really cool stuff. Yeah, I liked all the stuff. Matt's been doing the rounds on all the shows, but
that line is great too, because I saw them at Legions Con, and without even knowing it, my favorite figure is actually the one that's dedicated to Emil.
Oh yeah,
they named it after him. The long neck one,
the Brontosaurus. Yeah,
I think it's called Milwick or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that one just stood out the most. And when I was looking at those figures at Legions Con, you know, all I was getting was the theme song to Dino Sauces in the back of my head.
Today, I think it was earlier today. You know, Matt's got a Facebook group for the Defenders of Eden, and he posted some pictures of the backside of those characters. And I didn't realize that some of them have like an art. Well, obviously they're articulated at the base of the tail, but some of them have an articulation point kind of in the middle of the tail as well, which I thought was really cool. So if you haven't checked out those photos, those are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
Walter, you know, we have tacos too in New York, Walter.
No,
That's kind of an all over the place kind of thing.
Doesn't take much to
Yep.
impress me with a taco. So, I mean, anything that, and I like Taco Bell, but anything that's better than Taco Bell impresses the hell out of me. So,
Yeah, pretty much.
I was watching Saturday Day Live, and somebody was in the chat talking about going to Jersey to get tacos, and I'm like, who the hell goes to Jersey and gets tacos? Like, I don't know. Like that wouldn't be the thing that like I wouldn't be like, I'm in Jersey, I better get some tacos. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I don't like tacos, but that's not what Jersey's really famous for. Like, so
no, there's plenty of places here.
I was gonna say, you go to the right place.
Yeah,
you go to the right place anywhere, you'll find good food.
Yeah, it's just like I don't go to a seafood place and order a steak. Like it's just you just don't do that. So
well, you don't order seafood in the middle of the country.
Yeah, that's a fact, Jack. So.
Yeah, Curtis, I think you're picking fights with everybody tonight, and you didn't even get to pick your bones yet. So
no.
Yeah, I got that bone to pick later. I'm not gonna forget, Lenny. We're gonna talk. So
okay, I got you.
But before that, let's get into like you're in Mythic Legions. You've been in for a little bit. You're doing some cool stuff. Why don't you kind of talk to us about how you got into Mythic Legions and your kind of journey that you've had there so far?
Yeah, so it's actually an interesting journey. I started with my one of my friends, Kevin. Everybody probably knows him as Kayan in the Cabal group. So when I'm not even into mythics. I don't even know what mythics are. I have no clue what's going on. So he's like, yo, let's go to ToyCon. I want to go see Four Horsemen. I'm like, who? What are you talking about? He's like, Four Horsemen. They make these characters that look like He-Man figures. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know which ones you're talking about. I've kind of seen them, but I didn't have the connection of Four Horsemen, Mythic Legions, and all that. So I'm like, yeah, sure. I've been to ToyCon before. I love ToyCon. Great show over here. Joe Viteri always puts on a great show. So we go and we see this massive line for Mythic Legions. I'm like, what the hell's going on? What is this? So I'm online with him, and he's over here grabbing a box. I'm like, wow, dude, it's serious like that, huh? He's like, yeah, I can't get to these all the time. I'm gonna stack up. This is why I came to the show. I don't care about nothing else. I was like, all right, cool, no problem. So we're online. We get up to the table. I'm looking at them, and I'm just scratching my head because I'm like, damn, I cannot get into another line. At this point, I was like collecting, He-Man, Turtles, G.I. Joes, vintage, new, everything. It was just crazy. It was madness.
Mm-hmm.
So he's over here putting in the box, and then I cave in. So my first two figures was Magnus and Torian. This is when Erythea was hitting the streets and the Erythea wave. So I picked those two up. Then I'm looking at Balius. I think that's how you pronounce it, right? Balius.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at him like, damn, I've never seen a 112 horse. This is freaking amazing. So I'm like, no, I'm trying to control myself.
You'll see one every wave.
Yeah, so I'm trying to control myself, and I leave it. And I'm like, I tell myself, I'm gonna go around the show. If I come back and it's there, it's meant to be. So I got Magna Centauri. Kevin is with his box. He's just looking like a kid in a candy store with all his Mythic Legions stacking up, right? He's over here holding this big heavy box, just wobbling, all happy, like yeah. So we walk, we drop the stuff in the car. We make the rounds around the whole toy show and everything. We get back to the Mythic table. What's there? One Balius left.
Nice. Meant to be.
It came home with. It was meant to be. It came home with me, and that's where it started. So I started collecting the figures. Kevin is like a hop, skip, and jump away from me. So it's cool to be able to collect something with somebody, and you guys can just meet up, talk about, and whatnot. So he keeps telling me about. I start noticing like the customizing community, the people that are painting, taking all these figures. So I start getting curious about it. I look into it. Kevin loves YouTube videos. Like this
Mhm.
man lives on YouTube. So any questions that I have, I just ask him. I don't have to look it up. He already knows. So he starts telling me about all these things, do this, do that, do this, do that. And I'm like, all right. So I remember it was like around, I believe, January that I made my first custom, which I took Dorina and I made her into the Day of the Dead type warrior. That
Mhm.
was one of the figures that I had in Legions Con. So I put it all together and I was really satisfied with how it came out, especially being my first custom figure. Kevin was telling me, oh, this figure came out dope. You should do more of it. You should do more of it. And I just started getting more hands on it, just repainting a lot of things. Like at this time, I still wasn't into the 3D pieces or really really getting into customizing. What I would do is I would just take random pieces, put them together, and just repaint them to the way I wanted to see them. Around the whole transition too, um, he had told me about Leland from Retrospect Customs. He's like,
Mhm.
oh, Leland's a customizer. He's a real cool dude. So we started chatting. I started messaging him as well, and he's also sets up tables at ToyCon, so we were able to chat sometimes. And Leland gave me so many tips and feedback, and he was like these two dudes have been the most supportive dudes for me in this whole time of customizing. We have a Facebook Messenger chat where we're always chatting it up, and everything that I'm coming up with, I show it to them. I'm like, yo, guys, what you think? They give me feedback. They're like, do this here and there. So like I can honestly say everything that I do is not even me doing it by myself. Like these two dudes are always giving me feedback and always telling me, you know, what to think, how to change it up or what to do and stuff like that. So I don't even remember, but I know it was pretty much around the summertime. And I felt it was like last minute where I was just like, I'm doing a table at Legions Con. I was like, I don't know what I did to myself, but you know what? Why not? Let's just do it. So I told him I was doing a table at Legions Con. Leland was hyped because he had a table. Kevin was hyped because he was able to attend. Like he got excited for the little things. So we set it up. So that's when I was just like busting out customs left and right. Somewhere along the lines, I started adding 3D prints, really getting to know about the extra parts. Um, Buying from like PDT, Wolf King, Mythic Blue Inferno, all these guys that have these amazing 3D pieces. So I started getting all these pieces, then started changing things up, and that's when I started coming out with, some more customs that were, I would say, real more creative because it wasn't just mixing Mythic Legions parts and repainting them. It was me
Mhm.
really just like I'll start off with a head, and then I'll see what am I adding to it. Like the head is always the first piece for me, and then I'll see how I want it to look, how I want to mix it up, paint it, colors, and things like that. So I told Kevin, I was like, if we do well in Legions Con, I'm getting 3D printers. The
Mhm.
other dude, I think he jumped out of his seat because he was so excited. So so we go to Legions Con, and I really wasn't expecting that huge of a turnout. It was my first show, and I also knew a lot of people didn't know me, didn't know
Mhm.
my work. But the type of reception that I got at Legions Con was amazing. It was just like I did not expect that kind of a welcoming. The way people were responding to my pieces, to the art, because at the end of the day, this is your art. This is your craft. It's no different than somebody painting on a canvas. It's to me, I find it to be the same thing. And so, when you get that positive feedback on your creativity and your art, like to me, that's enormous. So it was very successful. A lot of people really loved it. And so during Black Friday special, I got the Mars 2 Pro 3D printer, and it's just been taken off. Like I've been just blessed with what I've been able to do. And then when I got the Mars 2 Pro, my first exclusive was that Santa orc that I had released during the holiday. And so what I got from that, I was able to save to just continue to buy more and more pieces to create more craft. And that's what I've been doing ever since. And then I got to a point where the Mars 2 was now too small. Like I couldn't print enough, quick enough. So, you know, I had like some test shots lying around. So I said, I'm selling the test shots, and I turned that money right back around and I bought a Saturn 2 Pro.
Oh, wow.
So now I have them lined up, and I've actually been in a position where I can't even catch up now. So I gotta kind of like hit the brakes on, you know, because since January, me, Kevin, and Leland, we've been working on so many pieces that are like exclusive. Like I want to say we can have somewhere around 30 pieces, exclusive pieces. And it's a lot that we haven't even revealed or anything like that. Like we're just working on it behind the scenes. And so actually, before I continue the story, I don't want to forget also in that Facebook Messenger group, we also have Pablo from Pablo Toy Photography.
Oh yeah.
So it's all four of us.
Pablo. Okay.
Yeah, so it's all four of us. I want to give a shout out to him too. So like we're constantly shooting ideas there about what we're doing and stuff like that. And a lot of I've been focusing on a lot of like cultural designs. So, you know, so like I'm Spanish, I'm Colombian, Puerto Rican, and I love the Mexican culture designs of like Day of the Dead and, you know, the mariachi style. I think there's so much to it for that. And just wait till you guys see like what Leland's coming up with. Like he's doing some cultural stuff too because he's from the Philippines. And like when we think of ideas, we really want to think of something that hasn't been done before, but it can still complement anything that anybody wants to do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to bring this in, if this is all right. Some of your Instagram pictures here. Is this is the Dorina you were talking about that you did first?
Yep, that was my first custom ever.
While we look at this, is there stuff that you're making that you just keep for yourself, that you make for you, as opposed to just the stuff that you're like making for other people and for selling purposes?
So right now, the only customs that I for a while that I have for just for myself, I did a Daredevil and Electra custom. But I'm at the point where I'm just like, yeah, that one right there. I'm at the point like I made it once, I could always do it again and maybe even better the next time.
Gotcha.
So like in the next show, everything's gonna be available.
Gotcha.
Like, you know, if anybody that's willing to purchase like a craft, a love of mine, and they want to enjoy it, then by all means. But right now they're immortalized on my Instagram, so they'll be there forever.
Walter, I'm pretty sure that's not how that works. So just FYI, I'm no scientist, but I'm pretty sure that's not how that works.
Yeah, and then I wanna add something that Cullen did in the chat. So I sometimes when I jump into Legion's chat, I'll give people like a sneak peek of something I'm working on.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Well, I love with that. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Jesse. Go ahead.
I was gonna say what you were talking about, incorporating the cultural elements into it. I really like that because it still feels like it could exist in Mythic Legions, like and the same with Leland, because I was right next to Leland at Legions Con with my table, and I don't remember what the name of it was, but that kind of that demon spirit, the woman with like the intestines hanging out and everything.
Yeah. Like actually put hair on her too.
Yeah, it's just the stuff like that, and like what you were doing with those, the Day of the Dead.
Yeah, like one of my favorite customs ever is one that Jeremy Gerard did that he calls the Princess of the Frogs, and she's also kind of known as the Voodoo Queen, and it's just an amazing custom. And your Day of the Dead inspired ones are the only other ones that I've ever seen that kind of have that same feel to it. And you know, seeing the pictures and stuff has been great, but when I saw them firsthand at Legions Con, like just so good. Like, because on those kind of things, you're not just painting with the sculpt of the figure, like you're actually painting like paint on top of it, like a face paint or something like that. So the amount of freehand paint work that goes into that is a lot, and for it to look as crisp and clean as it does was just amazing seeing those firsthand. So I got to give it up to you on that, because for somebody first time at Legions Con, you had a great display, and it was awe-inspiring, really.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, and I didn't even really get to take much pictures of the second Day of the Dead version that I did, because can you go back down, Jesse, real quick?
Yeah.
Wait, not too far. Go back up. There's like one winged golden armored one. That one, the golden wing one.
Yeah.
So I literally made this 2 days before Legions Con.
Oh wow.
So that's how far I was grinding, making sure that I had stuff for the show. Because I had a quota of how many winged warriors I wanted to take. Like, that was my big theme for Legions Con. Like, a bunch of warriors with wings. Like, the thing that draws me to Mythic Legions the most is like the knights, the armors, and the skeletons. So like that's me. I love knights, and so this is like something of my favorite thing to work on. And I was like, this has to be like one of the highlights of my show, because everybody knows Eric LeBron, right? He bought this custom from me.
Oh, nice.
So to have one customizer buy another customizer's work, like, to me, that was enormous.
Yeah.
I mean, look at, you got a God's Fire helmet there. I'm not sure about the pauldrons and the bracers.
The pauldrons were from MAFC. Okay. They were in this box of this. I had purchased a huge box of like random 3D pieces. The arms are from a kit from Jason Rodriguez.
Okay.
It's some Lion Slayer type thing. The legs are from PDT.
Okay.
Some gladiatorial kits that PDT has.
And the weapon?
And the weapon, I believe it's also PDT.
Okay.
But
I love seeing people
that box of stuff that I got.
Yeah, it's a good mix of parts that creates one cohesive look. I like it.
Yeah. And then the other thing with my wing series is that they were also all based on God's Fire.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
So
this is another God's Fire.
My question would be, based on all the stuff that you're like putting out for the show and for sale, and rather than your own collection, how do you make sure that you keep it fun and that it doesn't become like a job to you, to where it's like, oh, I got to go paint today, So how do you still keep it fun when you're doing stuff that you're selling?
So that's a great question, because lately it has felt a little bit like a job. I've had to take a break because I have an OCD where when I print a piece, it has to be perfect. Mm-hmm. Right? If something is off, then I got to retool the supports, go back, print it again until I get it to the level that I want to. And that's what like Lillian and Kevin always tell me, like, damn, dude, like, take a break, take a breather, just take time off and you'll get it. Like this piece right here, the Sugar Skull, it went through 2 designs, because when I got the first one and I printed it, I was looking at the symmetry of the design on the skull, and it was off. Right? So like it didn't have that big flower in the middle and the top of the forehead. There were things that was some off. So I went back to the sculpt and I showed the picture and I circled it, and I was very like clear on this is what I'm seeing. And then the sculptor was like, oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, it's true. So he went, resculpted that part where it had to have symmetry. Like some people may not notice it, but I notice it. And if I'm going to put something out there that's mine, that has my name, it has to have a certain level, a certain caliber of quality.
Mm-hmm. Well, while you were talking, I just wanted to pull up a couple comments, because we're kind of seeing a relationship fall apart. And I just wanted to, we got Nate saying, Coney Dogs originated in the D, and kind of, Trevor's disagreeing with him. He's Nate's saying to come to Detroit. So I just wanted to point it out there. We're kind of having a thing where they're fighting in chat, and I just want to say we love you both. There's no reason why you can't just get a coney dog from both places.
They're also hot dogs, so I mean, come on. Are they really that good?
Way to put that into perspective, Jesse. I appreciate that.
I want to give a couple quick shout outs too as well. Brian Almeida is in the chat with us now, and my buddy Luke, who is the guy behind that Tank Girl custom. So Luke, I don't know if you saw that earlier, but he's in as his infamous Theodore Rex persona, which he loves that movie.
And Trevor's telling me
I got to give a shout out to Brian too, because I've also messaged Brian in some prints that I've had that I've been very frustrated on, and he also helped me out. Brian Detour, also a local cool dude of mine. I actually messaged him between yesterday and the day before. Definitely gives me a bunch of feedback. Anthony Velas from Noble Bear Customs, another cool dude, always giving me feedback, always showing support to me and what I do. Fellow Puerto Rican there. So, next Legions Con, you guys are going to be seeing more of the Latino Legions going on. So,
all right.
We got a lot of things going on.
Well, I think that's really cool. It's like, and Curtis has said this, and a lot of people say this, and it's totally true that it's not like a competition. I mean, yes, everybody wants to sell their things. So there is a bit of competition, but like, I don't feel like anybody's trying to like step on anybody's toes and like yank things out from other people. Like you do your thing, but they're also printers and designers and painters, and you're helping each other out, Curtis and I and some other folks, we have like a creative chat where we're bouncing ideas off each other too. So it's just, again, it's that whole community thing, which Luke is going to, he's going to talk to me about the cult, which you can blame Walter for the cult aspect of it, Luke. Because he loves saying the Cabal is a cult, but just how everybody can come together and help each other out, or at least, you can find your niche of people that, help and encourage, even if you're doing the same stuff.
Well, it's interesting too, because I had showed 2 waste pieces today on Instagram, right? They're 2 exclusive designs that I had done. And so, Anthony Velas, he messaged me, he gave me a shout out, awesome pieces, awesome designs. And, even before I knew Anthony, my mindset on any type of business aspect is, if you're going to do something somebody hasn't seen yet, right? You want to do something different. You really want to stand out. So that's what I always tend to do. And if you notice Noble Bear's business practice, they do the exact same thing. They're doing different things. They're doing stuff that nobody's ever seen. So Anthony sends me a message today. He's like, yo, those 2 pieces are great. I actually had something similar, but I'm going to hold back because you released these. I said, no, don't hold back, bro. Just let it out full force. Just release what you want to release. This is what we do. We kind of, we support each other. There's no, I appreciate it, what he was doing, right? But at the same time, like, I don't know how far or how close I'll be able to offer anything in the Cabal, because my main focus is Legions Con. So I just want to make sure that Kingpin Customs has an amazing presence again. And last year I had original customs, but this year I want to have original customs and exclusive pieces. Like, again, pieces that will intertwine with other things and complement other customs, where it's not just set to a specific kit.
Well, I think this is a good point in the show to really hash out this bone that I've got to pick with you. So, so I knew you before Mythic Legions. You've been in several toy groups, and typically what I knew of you before you came into this arena is that you really get involved in the community. Like, you're a big time supporter of toy collectors and the community. And I know you even ran a very successful Secret Santa program in one of the other toy groups for a couple of years, right? So I saw you get into Mythic Legions, and you seemed like you were picking it up pretty heavy. And then you had a table at Legions Con, And I'm sitting there thinking, awesome, we're going to get a Mythic Legion Secret Santa at Christmas time. Like, this guy is totally invested in this community. He is going to do a Secret Santa program, and it's going to be phenomenal because I know he has the capacity and the capability of doing it. And then Christmas came and went, and guess what? No Secret Santa. So a little, I'm not going to say mad, but disappointed.
Okay.
And I'm just hoping that this year we can put something together, because I think that would be great.
So, Curtis, I will say that I remember when you mentioned something when you had Detour on.
Mm-hmm.
I did watch because Kevin sends me a message. He's like, "Yo, they're talking about you in your Secret Santa." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Okay." So I came on, I watched the show, and I heard when you had mentioned it. So now that I hope Walter's still here, because with Walter's blessing, I have no issues with doing a Secret Santa in the Cabal.
Yes. This is what I'm talking about.
So even before speaking to Walter, I've already been trying to brainstorm like how to do it seamlessly organized and try to make sure that like the biggest outcome is that we have fun.
Yeah. I love like the way that you did it before. I think it was like each person would submit kind of like their top 3 toy choices, like toy lines that they're interested in.
The toy lines.
Yeah. So, I was kind of thinking, and I'm just spitballing, throwing shit out here, but either like 3 favorite factions or 3 favorite races, or even, maybe have a category where it's not Mythic Legions, but it's kind of Mythic Legion adjacent type toys, like your top 3 Mythic Legion adjacent toy lines, things like that. But yeah, I think anything like that, I feel like those kind of things bring a community together even more. And this is it's a great community in the Cabal with people that share ideas and customs and all this kind of great stuff. So fun things like that, like the pop and swap contest we got going on right now, a Secret Santa program, like those are things that I really like seeing in the post and stuff like that. So
yeah, I see Brian's comment. That's hilarious. Hedgehog, yeah, absolutely. At ToyCon in June, we up in there.
He listen, I'm telling you, he ran a great Secret Santa program. So if we get one this year, I'm telling you, it's in good hands. So
yeah. So now that I'm excited too. I'm like, let's do it, because I'll be honest, and I love Walter. Me and Walter, we talk all the time. I actually have 2 projects going on with Walter's blessing that he's seen. I'm still working on it, and like I said, with my OCD, it's gotta be killer. So I've had very interesting conversations with Walter where he really laid down what the Cabal means, why it's called the Cabal, and it's like it was like a very deep inside look into it, and his vision and how he sees it. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, this is a dude that didn't just put a group together. Like, he put a group together with a bio, which is what Mythic Legions is all about. So, as of recently, the Cabal group has been growing. And when you grow, there's growing pains. And I get it. There's no control over that. So, all I want to say is that for people who watch this and are in the Cabal, like, we're all in it to just have fun. Right? We're all in it to get a great time, get to meet new people. I've met so many amazing people since I've joined the Cabal. I've met you, Jesse, you, Curtis. I've met Len in person. I've met Walter, Detour. Like, so many, like, there's so many people that I've met that I can't list them all. So if I miss you, my bad. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to not mention you, but we gotta just try to stay focused and stay true to what the Cabal is, and it's just a bunch of middle-aged men collecting toys and having a great time.
I would say, and you're right. As a group grows, you kind of have some growing pains, and new people come in and they don't really understand the culture, because it is quite a bit different in our group than other groups. The one thing I would say to folks that maybe listen to this that are new to the community is make sure that you're giving as much as you're taking.
Absolutely.
The Cabal is a great place to post, customs that you've done and things that you're working on and things that you may even be selling or whatever. But make sure you're contributing to, like whether it's artwork or commenting on people's posts or, liking people's posts when you see great art or photography or whatever. Just, make sure that you're giving and contributing to the Cabal and not just taking from the Cabal. Because that's one of the things that I think rubs some veterans the wrong way when somebody jumps in and they're in for 5 days and they're trying to, sell their parts or they're trying to sell lessons on how to paint or, whatever. It's like, dude, you've been here 5 minutes and you haven't even taken the temperature of the group yet. Like nobody even knows you. Just like slow down a little bit, contribute, see what the group's all about, and then kind of go from there. So that would be my advice to new folks out there.
Yeah, I mean, I got to give it to the admin team of the Cabal too. Like, still leaving it a group where every post just goes through, right? At times there's these groups where they set it up where the posts have to be approved just to kind of keep the storm under control. But that's not Walter's mindset. Walter's mindset is like, let it go through, let people share and stuff like that. And to that point, when toy lines come out, there's always going to be quality control issues which people don't have control over, right? That's just a fact. It's going to happen whether we like it. It sucks. I'm not going to say we need to accept it. It sucks. But I've heard plenty of stories where if the Four Horsemen can make it right, they definitely will, and they'll go above and beyond, right? So, like talking about, my figure came missing this and this. Like, I get it. We look forward to these figures so much, and I would be one that would be upset too, but it's stuff that we can't control, and we try to find a solution around it, but let's just enjoy it. I'm sure there's some figures that I haven't even opened yet that might have a quality control issue. I have no idea.
Yeah, and listen, I understand the frustration of getting something and it doesn't look the way that you want, or it's got a part missing or whatever, but you're right. Like I have not seen an instance where people have reached out to the studio and the studio told them to get lost. If you go through the proper channels and you reach out to them and you tell them what's going on, they're going to take care of you. So, the first reaction shouldn't be, in my opinion, let's take a picture of this and make a mean, angry post in the Cabal about how this, made it to me and it wasn't caught in quality control check. Like the first step should be reach out to them first and then kind of go from there.
I agree.
I understand right now, and trust me, I've got some personal feelings when it comes to the tactics and War of the Aether Blade and kind of the relationship between Four Horsemen and the game studio and some kind of finger pointing that's been going on and stuff. But so I understand there's some frustration because people are reaching out to the Four Horsemen and then they're telling them to reach out to the game team and then they reach out to the game team and they don't get a response. So I get that. I would say just be patient. I know they're still trying to get all these figures out. Give them some time. I would venture to say, just from my experience with Four Horsemen, that they're going to make it right one way or another. So just, have some patience and go with the flow. So anyway.
Yeah, I mean, they get all this stock, this inventory, right? And all this inventory already comes from China, already packed. Right, so imagine if Four Horsemen was then to review all the figures that came from China,
right,
and then decide to pack them and ship them out to the buyers.
Yeah,
forget about it. Now they'd be like posts like, "Oh, where my figures at? Like, why is it taking so long?" You know what I mean? So it's like something sometimes got to give, but we just got to be patient in this world, and good things come to those who wait.
Yeah, and I think something that people tend to like, when I see people gripe about it and they're like, "Oh, don't give me they're a small business thing." I'm like, no, they're a small business. Like the Horsemen are established, but like there's not 1,000 people working in that studio packing stuff up. It's not an Amazon warehouse,
right?
There's a handful of folks working there, and many of them do multiple jobs at the facility and at the studio and stuff. And I mean, there's only so much space to do it. So yeah, it's going to take some time. Like Edgardo was saying, patient and communication. What you're saying, wait. especially when they're middle of trying to get all this stuff out and get everything sorted out because it didn't go the way it was supposed to, because the horsemen are doing the shipping now, especially for these tactic ones. Just give them a little room. Like, it's at the end of the day, you're yes, it's money that you put out. I totally get that, and it's okay to be upset, but you're gonna get taken care of.
I think, we've talked about the pluses on the intern, like going to intern for a day. And for anybody that hasn't done that, I know that it just kind of closed and they're starting to draw the folks for intern. And it's an amazing experience. But one of the things that is kind of shocking when you get there is to find out that it's really not a huge group of people. Like, the amount of people that work there is not like, this isn't an army of folks like Jesse's saying. There are folks that are doing multiple different jobs. Some of them are sculpting and painting, or painting and working and shipping in the warehouse. And, so the fact that we get the quality of figures that we do, and the amount of waves that we get, and the different sculpts that we get and stuff from such a small place,
and at the price
amazing.
point that we're still at the price point that we're still getting it.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
so this isn't Hasbro.
What figures do you know?
What
figures do you know that have the articulation, the swappability, right? Like the accessories that are still at that price point.
I mean, look at this. This got posted today. This is 7 years ago when Legion's Wave 1 arrived at the Horseman Studio warehouse. Jim, Eric Cornboy, and Cornboy's youngest son, Mikey, unloaded, packed, and shipped all of the backers themselves.
Yeah, that's not a huge company.
I think that's 4 adults and one of their kids. I'm not sure how old the kid is.
Because of the quality of the figures, we think that they're the same as like or similar to a Hasbro or a Mattel or something like that, and they're just not. So just bear with them. But in the 3 years plus that I've been following them and collecting this line, I have not seen one time where they didn't take care of somebody when there was an issue. So, I would say when it comes to post in the Cabal and stuff, don't be too high, don't be too low. Like I've heard some people complain about the echo chamber too, that everything is positive. And there's some of that, and you can give feedback in a positive way if you have feedback for people.
There's a thing called constructive criticism.
Right.
That's not.
Yeah, or if you've got if there's somebody that's coming in and they're just starting to paint or something, and you've got some advice for them, you can even PM them and message them and stuff.
We want to lift people up. We want to lift people up, lift up their craft, lift up the the engagement, the interactions. We don't want to bring people down.
Not quite the high I was talking about, Greg, but appreciate it.
Yeah, Lenny, that's 100%, and that's definitely something that I like about the Cabal in general, because most of the attitude in there is like that. Every now and then, when those negative things come out, it'll get a lot of activity for a day or so, and then it moves on, and everybody's back to sharing all the cool stuff they do.
Even when I was new with like customizing, right? I get some guys message me, and they're like, "Oh, dude, like your work is so cool. Can you show me how to do this, or how did you do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro, you tell me. Like, I can message it to you. I can like face video you, whatever. Just let me know." So like you guys seen Blaze Bear Blaze, right?
Yeah.
Like his work is amazing, and there was a times where we were just having conversations, and I was telling him like how I was doing some things, and I look forward to every time he posts something on the Cabal because I love his style, Then there's Orlando Orozco. He's another cool friend of mine. He's West Coast. He had the cosplay on in Legion's Con. Massive dude in like this Viking wear. Real cool, reaches out to me all the time. I'm like, yo, let's do this, let's get on it. Like he'll be like, no, I want to send it to you so you can paint it. I'm like, but why? Do it. Get in, get there, paint it, get down. That's how you learn, right? Like people, like the thing that really held me back when I first started customizing were eyeballs. I didn't want to, if you notice my early designs, they didn't have faces. They were like just helmets or masks or coverings because I didn't want to get into the eyeballs yet. So then I started getting into the eyeballs, and I've seen the transition because I kept practicing, and that's why I tell people you just got to keep at it, keep practicing, and you do it. And even while you're painting, sometimes you'll do happy accidents, right? Everybody knows Bob Ross is a happy accident. It ends up being something better than what you intended it to be because it was an accident, and that's how you learn. And that's how I've learned a lot of my techniques on what I do, just by accidental. Sometimes I'll look at my palettes of paint. I'll be like, what have I not used yet? Let me use this color. I barely use this color. Let me throw it in there. Comes out great. I love it. Move on to the next piece. That's how I do.
Well, the other thing I would say with Facebook post is, and I don't know that I'm saying anything that is going to shock anybody or that anybody doesn't know, but like typically the way that the feed works in a group is when you like or when you like something, it doesn't really move the post at all. It just stays where it's at. But if you comment on something, typically the most recent comment one is what comes to the top. So if somebody posts something negative or controversial or whatever, and a lot of people are commenting on it, it just keeps throwing that post to the top of the list. But then when you see somebody's great artwork and you just hit the like button, it does nothing for movement. So, I would just encourage folks that if you see something that you like, a like button is all right, but throw a comment on there. Tell what you like about it. Say, hey, I really like the way that you did the eyes on this one, or I like the parts that you used on the. Throw something on there, because those comments is what is going to allow us to see more positive posts in the Cabal, bring that stuff that we want to see to the top, as opposed to, the negative stuff. So that's my last thoughts on that.
This is the one good time where if you see something, say something is very appropriate.
Yes.
Absolutely.
If you see something, you're like, I got to remember to comment more than just like.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's been some great customs where I've just loved the color palette, like just the combination of colors. And I'm just in awe. Like Giovanni Bly is one of my favorite customizers. Like, I'm a huge fan of his work. The color palettes that he uses, the soft tones, the way he blends his colors, like I'm in awe. I love his work so much.
The only problem I have with Giovanni is that he priced his stuff too low at Legions Con, and it was sold before I could even get to his table. So he's sold out of everything. So he just needs to either come with more product, or he needs to raise his prices a little bit so that there's at least something when I get around to his table. But his stuff is amazing too.
And he also had a Day of the Dead female, which I thought was amazing. She looked more like an assassin type character. Like I believe it had Delphina's head, and he painted half to be Day of the Dead, and then half was just her face.
Yeah,
and then her whole body was like black.
Yeah, and I like that we have such diversity within the community where like we get some of the Puerto Rican, vibes from some of the figures that you're creating and the Day of the Dead stuff. And we get the stuff from like Giovanni's dark skin people that he makes. Like, it's so good. Like he practices so much. Like I think there's a lot of customizers that they may dabble in it a little bit, but he does so much of it that he's so experienced that they come out phenomenal. Like some of his figures looked great. So being able to go from table to table and see like, this is this person's style and it's, different than this other person. It's just, you're able to appreciate it and take it all in. So I just think that's really cool. Just seeing the different, the ways that people go about these customs and stuff.
Almost everybody at Legions Con this year, which was the biggest one, or this past year is the biggest one yet. I was at the one in 21 and there was every table was different. You might have people that do similar concepts. Like you might have someone doing Thundercats tributes or, this thing or that thing, or a helmet with a skull coming out of it, broken thing or whatever. But everybody has just, even if it's the same sculpt from the same printer, they'll do it in a different way that it's, it's enough of a different thing that every table you go to is like a totally different flavor, even if there are similar things. And I just think that's really, really cool. And I love seeing the creativity and the cultural input stuff that you were talking about, which will bring your the one that you sent here up soon.
Oh yeah,
after Curtis finishes this next thought,
because I haven't seen that. So,
all right. Well, let's just bring that up here.
oh yeah, yeah, that's nice.
So, all right. I'm going to say I am 100% serious about this. The Coco, the movie Coco, is in my top 5 movies of all time.
It's my favorite movie.
And when I saw this, it's number 2 or number 3. I think it might be at number 2 right now.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that movie, and I'm as white Irish as they come. Like, but something about that movie just hits me so hard, to the point where I only watch it maybe once a year just because I want to keep it special. But when I saw this, I was just like, oh.
Here's the one issue that I have with this is that now I need more of that crotch piece, that loin piece, whatever that is, but without the cummerbund, just so that it's more like plain, like soft good pants type thing.
Yeah.
Because that looks nice with those legs and stuff. So yeah, I would do on, this one's great, but I would do another one that, without that cummerbund piece, because I think you would sell a ton of them, because that would be very, very useful in a lot of different customs for sure.
So what's interesting is that waist piece is not meant to be for this figure.
Oh, really?
But I used it. Yeah. So this is an example of getting pieces that are versatile, that they work with other things. So that waist piece is actually an inside look of something else I'm working on that actually belongs to. And so it's like this whole thing has a story, right? So I had the head sculpted around the same time that I did the sugar skull. I loved the head. I said I wanted the sombrero with the head.
That looks so good.
And I don't know if people remember, Jeremy Wilson sculpted a head that just had the meanest mustache with like a cybernetic helmet.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I might have one around there, but the mustache was like
I love this look right here. The pants, the side view, the way that those lower legs mix in with the upper legs from Four Horsemen, like that looks perfect. I love that.
So I had that sculpted this week, and I printed it yesterday for the first time.
I absolutely love that, Jesse.
And this is all credited to Jason Rodriguez.
What? I'm sorry, I
Jason sculpted
the lower legs, how it mixes in with the mythic upper thigh.
Oh
part.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like they're meant to go together.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had more pictures, but for some reason they did not save in the slideshow. So I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. So he sculpted the head, and then I told him like, no, I need a torso for this head. So I sent him pictures of references of like mariachi outfits, and I told him what I wanted. I wanted to make sure that I had that big tie. The way it goes, and he sculpted this out. Amazing. I loved it. Fell in love with it. So then I'm putting this together, and I'm trying to get it ready because I told Jesse I was gonna, reveal something new in the show for you guys. So I have it with Valak's legs, and I'm like, this just doesn't look right. I could probably pull it off, and people probably love it, but for me, it just doesn't look right. So boom, I messaged Jason. I said, Jason, you know what? I never rush you for anything. I always tell you, take your time, do it. But I send him reference pictures. I told him, I need this. Do you think you can have it done? Because I'm going live on Sunday. I needed to have it done for them on Sunday. He was like, no worries. I got you. He sculpted it, sent it to me. I printed it. And I was like, it was the best choice I could have ever done because again, we haven't seen just pants in Mythic Legions that I know of anyway. You know, like without a skirt and armored legs and stuff like that. So it just had to be complete.
Can you throw that back up there, Jesse?
I'm pulling up my messages so we can get to these other.
I love I like the way that the upper thighs meet like that from the knee down. That it's a perfect transition for me. But then also at the bottom of the pants, the way that it overhangs like the boot part, like that's just phenomenal. Yeah, I absolutely love that. The only feedback that I would have on this is that in addition to the torso, I would maybe try to do that same kind of look as a chest plate, just because I find that the Mythic Legion torsos work a little bit better than 3D printed torsos in terms of fit. But those chest plates make it nice to where you can create a look like this and still use the Mythic Legion torso part. So,
no, I agree with you, Curtis. I do mostly go with the chest plates. This one I needed but for this one, the reason we went with the whole torso is because you could see the collar. I have the collar of the shirt. You see, so it goes a little bit higher.
Yeah,
with the chest plate, we can pull off the design, but it limits the design to just that square.
Well,
it has pros and cons to both.
You could do a flex resin neck piece, like a collar piece that would go on there, just like the Mythic Legion collars kind of do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a good idea too. Yep.
But yeah, this overall look, I mean, just the way this came out is phenomenal.
And I have to say, I kind of pushed Jason too to certain things, because when the waist piece, right, the pants piece, it came afterwards, even for the other kit that I'm doing. And so I went to Jason one day and I was like, can we make a piece that's not a skirt? I want to see pants. I love Mythic Legions. I'm not knocking anything, but sometimes you got to see something different. So I want pants. I want a regular waist piece.
Right.
And he was like, just show me, he said, tell me what you want. So I kind of drew it out, and like Kevin calls it, he calls this piece a diaper. So I was like, yeah, I'm working on the diaper, right? And so these were all the, I sent it to him. The original sculpt that he sent me, the back part was too low. So I showed him a picture, he adjusted it, and it came out completely perfect. I actually had the waist piece printed today in flexible resin, but I'm still learning about flexible resin. So when I cured it, I gave it some heat and it expanded, and it was no good. Right? So it just looked bigger and bulky. So I had to go back to the regular 3D resin prints that I had to make for this custom, and that's how we got that piece today. So it's,
I love the tie, the collar, everything. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just an interesting journey. Honestly, the guitar took longer than any other piece.
Oh yeah, that's small details there.
And even honestly, the pictures don't even do it justice, because you really can't see the details in the face and you can't see the guitar.
Yeah, this is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I'm
I purposely put gloss varnish on the guitar, because you know how we have guitars that are like shellacked or whatever it is that they call it, that they're shiny. So I wanted the guitar to be shiny.
Yeah, I love that he's kind of got like his outfit has almost kind of a dusty look to it, like
a what look?
Like dusty. Like it doesn't look super clean. It looks like, like he's been caught in a sandstorm or something. Like I don't know. It just looks like it's aged. The gloves are a little bit more glossy, but yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly the look I wanted to go for. And then the gloves I left like that purposely, because the gloves are meant to be leather material.
While the that's kind of what I got. Leather. Yeah. Same thing with the boots. So it's a nice leather versus cloth. This came out phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. So it's like, again, just thinking outside of the box, what can be done differently, still utilizing and keeping the essence of Mythic Legions.
Yeah.
And yeah, again, you've done this where like this totally just slides in on a shelf with Mythic Legions, even though it is as so much
Yeah, I don't
cultural
think I would see
specificity too.
Four Horsemen doing this, but yeah, it could fit in for sure.
Like, and it's not even like, oh yeah, you could put that McFarlane with your Mythic Legions, or you could put this, or like this
Yeah.
just slides in, and it feels like if the Horsemen were gonna do a Dios de Muerto like mariachi, this is what it would look like. I feel like, you know.
And got a comment here. Wanted lower pant legs for Mythics the entire time I've been collecting them. I couldn't agree more. Like, I love the upper arms and upper legs that they've put out as cloth. But yeah, some lower, cloth legs would be awesome. And I think these just work really well. They fit in so good with that. So
that's really cool.
Yeah, beautiful, man.
And you know what? We always have to have hope, because with what they do with the Figura Obscura line, you just never know what they can make.
Right.
Very true.
Never know, right? So Four Horsemen, wink, wink.
Well,
I mean, what's that female character that came out from the last wave that she has like a pet skeleton dog?
Oh,
I forgot her name.
Yeah.
Beluith, right? And a lot of people
Yeah.
were relating her to like, this is kind of like Day of the Dead type feel.
Yeah, especially that second head with the nose gone and everything.
Yep.
So are these going to be parts that you're going to offer up, or is this just like a one and done custom figure?
No, I'll have these parts available.
Cool.
I'm working on like I want to master the waist piece as a flexible resin. Even though it works like this is fine, like it doesn't interact with anything in any bad way, but I think with the flex resin it'll be a lot better. This head was a pain to print. It took me 7 prints to get it to the level that it's at now. And even then, like, I can see the minor flaws to it, but that's just me. But I got it to a point where it's acceptable. But the hat is really difficult to print. Like, it pushed me to the edge.
Are they two separate pieces that you've glued together, or is it one complete piece?
It's one complete piece. So, like, I needed the hat to print, because Jason did such a good job sculpting it. He sculpted texture into the hat. So it's not a flat hat. It has the texture of a sombrero, and then you have the sewing, the X's on it, all of that. And so I needed the texture to come out in the hat in its full form when you see it up close.
Yeah, I love seeing these details in there. Like, those are fantastic. So do you have a story behind this particular character you're working on, or is it just something you wanted to see and
Yeah, I don't have a story other than I just love the look of the mariachis, the Mexican culture, the Day of the Dead, the remembrance of past loved ones, the colors that they use. That's really what's guided me. If I think about something long enough, I actually want to see it happen. And so this is one of the projects that I've had in my head for a very long time, since I did the Day of the Dead. And so, like, right now, this will open up a lot of possibilities for me to do a male version of the Day of the Dead with a head sculpt guy, paint the skull look and all that. You know, so there's going to be a lot of other variations that I'm going to come up with that I'll have at Legion's Con.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see it.
Jesse, I sent you a message in the private chat there.
Oh.
So
I don't know if you could see the textures here.
Yep. That's cool. It looks, that looks like cloth.
Yeah. So that was my goal.
That looks awesome. Yeah. So the other thing that this opens the door, like I really love those lower legs, those cloth legs. But even if you did another one that like started out as cloth at the knee, but then went into like a boot, you know, like after that would be cool too. That would be a cool look. And the reason I was thinking about it, I sent Jesse a message to pull it up, but Joe Gonzalez just sent me I'd never played Star Wars Old Republic, and he sent me a thing that has all the cinematics from it. And they've got this character, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, but Nico Okar, which is like he's kind of like this space cowboy figure that is really cool. And so when I saw yours there, like my mind has really been on Cosmic a lot lately. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I need a space cowboy now, like for my Cosmic. So
Curtis, there's so many ideas I have on that stuff.
Yeah.
But, there's so much time in the day that, one has. I can say though that Jason is currently working on a kit of mine that a lot of people have been asking for, and it's something that is so simple, but it's nice. Why haven't we seen this yet? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, this is the character I was talking about. So
yeah, that looks amazing.
Like something like that for Cosmic, I think would just be really cool.
Listen, if I love an idea, I'm all for it, and I love that idea. Send me that picture, and you never know, man. You never know. Like
Beautiful.
Leland, Kevin, and Pablo we're constantly talking about new stuff, sharing pictures with each other. Like, oh, this would be cool made, and then we start thinking about it. Well, it may look cool, but can it be made? You want to make it right. You want to make sure it's functional, and so we'll just spit ideas and come up with stuff. And next thing you know,
I think these parts opened up for a whole bunch of different stuff. I think you guys have really opened up new territory with this, so that's cool.
And that's what I wanted to be known. Like Jason Rodriguez did the waist and the legs, right? So he already has the base on where to work from. So if somebody else wants to go to Jason, be like, Jason, I saw this waist, but I want you to change it like this, do it like this, boom, it's done. Right? The legs, like you mentioned, you got the pants going into the boots, that's the leg. Somebody wants to go to him and be like, I want this, boom, he has the base already to work on it.
Right.
And it's done. Right? So this is how we contribute to the community, where we come up with an idea, we make it, we share who did it, right? Go reach out to them. They do commission work all the time. Mm-hmm. Amazing guy to deal with, right? He's one of 2 3D sculptors that I work with. He always loves my ideas because I'm giving him something that he hasn't worked on before. Like, I love knights, I love dwarves, I love orcs. I love it all. But you can get knighted out, you can get dwarfed out, you can get orced out after a while, right? And you want to see something new. So that's all we're trying to work on.
Yeah, Joe, I don't know if you might have missed it, but that's exactly what I thought of when I saw this, and that's why I had them pull up that character, because you sent me that video, and that was the first thing that popped in my mind when I saw this. I was like, oh crap, I need a space cowboy. Because who doesn't want a space cowboy? Some people might call him Maurice, but it's all right.
I know you can't see. You really couldn't see in the pictures. I couldn't get on the pictures, but in the legs, he also has these side designs, just like a mariachi out there.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I painted these silver. That's usually how they go. And those are very common in like mariachi designs.
That's really cool.
I love that piece. That might be one of my favorite pieces that I've seen, is that lower leg right there.
Yeah, he really came through on this piece. Really well.
When you bend the knee, like if you try to articulate that, does it still look? I know the flow looks good with it straight, but if you try to bend it, yeah, that still looks pretty good. Yeah.
What's his back look like?
The back of the
jacket. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
He gave it a basic, 2 holes and slap back.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, that's cool. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, I think that's you guys landed on something special there, I think.
Yeah, I mean you know, it's people can do heads all day long, but you do something like this and it kind of changes the industry, you know, because it's like, oh man, that's a whole different aspect that I don't think anybody had even thought of. So
yeah, it's amazing. Like I've put my flex prints to go twice already, right? And twice it's failed on the same design. So now that design is gonna kill me to get it printed in flexible resin until I get it done. And so, you know, it's like I gotta now go back to the drawing board, figure out, maybe add more supports to the design, make sure it gets printed correctly. Because I was able to get that one and the other waist piece that I put on my Instagram, which was the warrior, like a barbarian type loincloth. Right? One day I got this little package that I had ordered from Empire Toys, and it was a Hudson gargoyle. I'm looking at the toy, I'm like, I want that waist piece from Mythic Legions. So I sent them a picture and I told them, I want this, but add some like pouches, like something that, you know, they would open and they would put stuff in like a barbarian would do. Right. Because we want to make sure we do things different, because we also want to respect the IP of other companies. You know, that's what the Cabal is known for as well. We want to respect that IP. But I definitely needed the loincloth with the belt. Something else that is new that we're doing I haven't seen it anywhere, and I just had to have it done.
So, all right, I'm gonna throw something out here real quick, and just keep in mind, no insider knowledge whatsoever. Totally making an assumption here, but did watch Jeremy's show where he had Steven on with him. And I know Steven was asking about G-Con this year and kind of talking about there's been some speculation where, you know, maybe this would be like Noble Bear and Sons of the Red Star, because we haven't gotten those two, you know, in kind of this G-Con format that they've been on for the last 4 years. And Jeremy didn't necessarily confirm it, but he said, I know you like the Barbarians. Let me just say you're going to be happy. So that's as close to a confirmation as I think we're going to get that G-Con is going to have some Barbarians in it. With that in mind, since they haven't really updated any Barbarians since really the first wave, what kind of things would you like to see in new parts for Barbarians? And I throw this out there for the group. Like what would be something that when you think Barbarian, you hope to see in a new wave if they were to have it?
I would love to see fur legs, the fur boots, like with the strap, right? With like fur type feet. You know, where it's just round because they just made some boots out of fur and then just wrapped it around instead of being armor.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
That would be.
I would say the same for like gloves or wristbands or something, like some sort of fur gauntlets would be good. Yep.
That's
and then you can use
the things I would say.
You can use skin tone hands, right? But then make the arm pieces to be like the fur gauntlet where they wrap around. You know, like that's stuff that I would love to see differently.
I'll go with Brian here too, since you guys picked the leather boots and wrists. Have
bare shins, bare forearms is good call.
Bare shins and forearms, absolutely.
Absolutely. Everybody's very hungry for bare forearms and bare shins.
Yeah. I would even throw out there, if you're going to do that, if you're going to do like bare shins, I would say give me some sandaled feet or something like that, like some sort of, whether, you know what I'm saying? So that it, instead of like right now we've got the bare feet, but they've got like the metal part on the top. Like give me something that if you had bare shins would go straight into a barefoot transition kind of thing.
Yeah, because even with sandaled feet, you can use them on like Vitus, right?
Yeah.
Where it's some Roman gladiator warriors that had sandals, or you can put them on a barbarian, you know, do stuff like that. It's like it's a versatile piece. You can use it on more than one type of design.
What about? I know they've been doing a lot more soft goods with CGSM. Obviously, with barbarians, it would probably be more, you know, whether it's leather or fur. What kind of soft goods do you think would really amp up some barbarians?
A vest.
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be
like
cool.
over a bare torso kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or a
I don't
tunic.
know. Yeah. I don't know if it would be very practical. But like a bear or wolf skin like mantle like that comes up over the head
Mm-hmm.
and down the shoulders kind of a thing.
Yeah, I know that there's some 3D part ones out there, but yeah, that'd be cool to get a Mythic Legion type one of that.
Even if it was like a flexible, like a softer, like the
Mhm.
folds on the waist, like that goes down into a soft goods piece, just so it would stick with the head.
NYC
But
Figure Fanatics says animal skins, like a cheetah skin cloak. That'd be cool.
Yep.
I gave my Queen Urks a tiger hide cloak.
That's cool.
So Retrospect Customs also did something interesting. He said a shield outlined with fur
Ooh.
and a one-handed axe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can never get enough of one-handed axes, right? So like
Yep.
I played Final Fantasy 11 for like 10 years. From its initial launch for 10 years straight, and my character was always
Hide pants. That would be cool. Like leather pants.
I think his buds cut out or something.
Yeah. We can't hear you, Lenny. If you can hear us, we can't hear you. But Carver
Can you
Customs.
hear me now?
Yep. Now we can hear you.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So like leather pants would be really cool.
One of my AirPods died, sorry.
That's all right.
So like I was saying, I played Final Fantasy 11 for 10 years, and my main character was warrior/ninja with dual wielding axes.
Mhm.
So like two-handed axe has always been one of my favorite weapons.
Like a smaller, almost like a tomahawk type of thing, like a throwing axe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I always like that Beastmaster. I don't even know what you call that weapon that he had that he would throw. You know what I'm talking about? It had like the 3 blades. He'd fan it out and he would throw
That was in
it.
Beastmaster?
Yeah.
I think I know
You know
which
what I'm
one you're
talking about, Lenny?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was almost like a boomerang type thing, but it had like 3 blades, and he would like something. And obviously, you can't do that exactly, but something like that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I forgot about that thing.
And Joe went for it. Said tiger skin thong. So there you go. You know, I would like to see stuff that we haven't seen in terms of. I want an elf barbarian. I want like a fuzz monk barbarian. You know what I'm saying? Like I want barbarians that we would not expect to see.
I want. I mean, I don't know if I would want it necessarily in the next wave, but I want furry arms and furry upper arms and furry upper legs.
Elder says that was Kroll, and that probably is right.
That's the glaive. No,
yes.
Dar does have one. It looks like a Y, and I'm looking at it here.
Okay.
So, Krull they called it a glaive, but that is 100% not a glaive. A glaive is a dual-handed like pole arm.
Right.
But yeah, I totally forgot about that thing that Dar. Yeah, he like kind of flicks it out. It's like a switchblade.
Yeah.
Switchblade boomerang.
But yeah, I want some characters that kind of go away from what you normally see with them. Like you know, you made obviously your hulking fuzz monk, and then you made me one as well, which is awesome, and I appreciate it. It's one of my favorite things in my collection. But like things like that are cool. Like give me a bare-chested barbarian goblin, you know, or something like that, like that you wouldn't expect, but like he's really hit the gym, and he's, you know, so
yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, an elf barbarian would be great. A fuzzmonk vampire. I have a fuzzmonk vampire plan to make, but I just can't paint a fuzzmonk head white. I feel like I got to do something more fun with it, but maybe someday.
Sons of the Red Star obviously is more kind of your mercenary group. You got your Dark Templars in there. What would you guys, if they did that as the opposing faction, what kind of things would you want to see from Sons of the Red Star?
Scapular 2.
Okay. I could see that.
So I haven't gotten down all the factions of what all the characters are because there's so many. But which are the characters of the
Pick
Sons of the
female
Red Star?
barbarian. Yeah.
Yes, give me those for days.
What did you say, Lenny? I'm sorry.
So I'm not like I still don't know all of the factions and what the characters are. So what are the characters that Sons of the Red Star?
Sir Gerard, Lord Viteris, the Dark Templars, the Mephitor, the Stinkor tribute.
Keltis is one.
Keltis, yeah. They're
So
they're like all over the place.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of that Templar torso.
Mm-hmm.
Like just it looks like a cloth tunic type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so we just got it again in the last wave where it was a green one.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only one that's been seen blue is Otho. Right? So I would be a fan of just seeing something else with those pieces in a different color scheme with like Magnus's armor parts, which is what we got, but just like just give me a different color scheme with a new head sculpt.
Yeah,
like maybe something of a head sculpt, not Magnus, but like another human that is like very individual like that.
Yeah,
maybe a different hair, different hairstyle or something like that.
Yeah, we've got a few kind of, named Templars in the, Aetheron faction. So yeah, some more named Dark Templars would be cool. And maybe even something where they do, oh God, what's the one that I ordered like 1 million of?
Sir Elijah.
Sir Elijah. So if they did like him, where they've got that soft good Templar, maybe they do that in a Dark Templar format as well. To where it's instead of just the sculpted torso that's the tabard, it's really more the soft good one. I think that would be really cool too. So yeah, that would be cool. I think we've got a lot of like sword and knife users in Sons of the Red Star. It would be kind of cool to get whether it's some magic users or something else in there.
I know the guys, people like to ask like what new species would you like to see? I would love them, and I think the Sons of the Red Star would be a great place for them, or at least some. I think gnolls would be really cool. They're kind of hyena-esque, like humanoid hyena. I think that would be a really cool to see the horsemen take a run at those.
I would like to see some like really sneaky rogue type characters too, like ones that you can like. One of my favorite figures is Snag. I'll just like sometimes throw him in photography, like behind things, and like where you may not even notice him in a shot and stuff.
Where's Waldo?
Yeah. So like a figure like that you can just like really crouch down and get into spots, and yeah, I think that would be cool. So
I wouldn't mind seeing also some more stuff built like Gracia's design, like that head sculpt on Gracia. It's like more like I want to say like a Middle Eastern type look, like Arabian Nights type thing.
Yeah, Joe said that for Scapular too. Maybe give him more of a Middle Eastern look to his outfit. I think that would be kind of cool. I think Scapular is probably a good one to get a version 2 as well. Like there's certain characters that I don't know that we'll get a version 2 of, but that's probably one that we could. So,
and then also
he is a faction leader, so
yeah,
I know they did something like Krotos. He's like a dwarf side with hooves, and he's got the goat head. And I don't know what it's called, but have you guys ever seen the movie the Book of Narnia?
Oh yeah,
Chronicles. So is it fawn? Are they fawns?
He's a satyr because he's got the more goat-like head. The fawn would be Mr. Tumnus, where he's got the more human features with the goat legs. Yep.
I would love to see something like that, like Mr. Tumnus.
That'd be cool. And then Brad is saying more dwarves, especially a ranger. Ranger dwarf would be really cool.
That came out really good, Jesse. That's definitely Middle Eastern.
So I got a lot of work to do. I just cut the pieces apart to put together. But that's a character from my book that is based on kind of a more of a Aladdin, fictional Arabic, Middle Eastern type vibe.
JG says, what do you guys think about more accessories like treasure chests, catapults, battering rams, etc.?
Absolutely.
I love the battering ram that Anthony Houseel did. I think that was pretty awesome. Catapult would be awesome. Yeah, any kind of extras that you could have go with it that would, I was opening up Silverhawks this week from Super 7, and they throw some of these accessories in there that I'm like, I don't think I would ever use these, but for somebody that does toy photography, those accessories can really make the difference between a great shot and just kind of a normal shot. So, any of those extra things that you could put in there, I would be all for.
I'm gonna bring this one up. Star's asking about werewolves. What faction makes sense for them? I have my opinion, but I'll let Lenny take a stab at that first. Do you have an opinion on where a bulk of the werewolves would be as a faction?
Honestly, how about giving them their own faction?
Yeah,
that's a valid answer.
Right, because vampires have their own.
Right? The Red Star. I think they would fit in nicely with Sons of the Red Star, in my opinion. But
I
would
probably
go with
say
JG's comments about treasure chest, catapults, and battering ram. I'm actually working on one of those. I won't say which. I'll keep it a surprise.
Nice.
Okay.
Got a secret project going on.
That's actually related to the kit that Jason is currently working on.
Awesome.
I think the question, Jesse, for werewolves would be similar to the skeleton ones. Like I know in Mythic Legions, we've got some skeletons that it seems like they were always skeletons, and some skeletons that were once another, like they were human or they were whatever, and then now they've become a skeleton. So would the werewolf race be they're born werewolves and they're always werewolves, or are they something else and then they get bit or whatever and become a werewolf? Because if so, then you could make them any race and just turn it into a werewolf.
Right.
So
right. No. I totally agree. I just think like if they were going to introduce them as part of another faction is the way I was understanding the question.
Yeah.
I would say Alithia because I love the concept of the werewolves and the vampires having that unstable.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I just think it would be cool, kind of like you've now seen some like dwarves. Dwarves are in they're in a bunch of different factions. Now we're starting to get orcs that are in a couple different factions and stuff. So I think that would be one that maybe you see them in several factions. So
well, yeah, and I was going to say it could depend on who they could be, like you're saying, they could be in any faction of any race. So it would be cool to see like a werewolf goblin or a werewolf orc with the legions of Erethyr, or maybe you've got some more heroic ones that are with the flock or whatever.
Maybe that's where you could get a hulked up fuzz monk. Maybe it's a werewolf fuzz monk. Just Joe says he would love just a wave of monsters. I'm all for it. Give me a wave of monsters. So we just got done doing our monster squad talk. So I'm like, right now I'm in a very big monster mood. So
did you guys ever watch Strong Bad Emails?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No,
the Trogdor.
Yeah. Never mind then.
Said
wave of monsters. There was that one where they did the teen girl squad where he was like drawing the stick figure girls like going to school, and there's one where it's like wave of babies, and it's just like this like tidal wave of like baby faces.
Good stuff.
It's a ridiculous like Flash animation web series from years ago.
But I tell you what,
this guy in the luchador mask and boxing gloves like answering emails.
If you're hanging around with friends and you're drunk, though, they are hilarious.
You don't have to be drunk.
But they are if you are. Shoot. Star says a faction of shapeshifters. Well, we know that Sir Gerard is a shapeshifter and he's in Sons of the Red Star. So werewolves, werebears, werecats.
if it's going to be a minimal amount of werewolves in the world, I think the Sons of the Red Star would be better. But if they're going to be like bulking, like a mass group of things, I think their home would be Alithia, but they could be anywhere. But yeah, if it's a smaller subset of them, Sons of the Red Star would be a really cool place to see a werewolf show.
I really like the Alithia idea. I think a wave of Alithia where it is werewolves and it's like kind of they're taking over from within or something, like a whole Lycan versus vampire thing. Very underworldish. Yeah.
Underworld. Yep. I just thought of that.
Yeah, I was thinking of that, but maybe there's more of an alliance between them rather than because I like the whole thing because the vampires are different. We don't know if they can go out in sunlight or not in Mythos. I don't think it's been confirmed that sunlight is as deadly as our mythology for vampires. But you know, if I always like that idea of the werewolves, like kind of watching them during the day. You know, the nests or the covens or whatever. But
and Star's asking about creature figs from 4-H. Like the one thing I know is that it was specifically asked of Treadaway, you know, are there werewolves in Mythos? And his answer was yes. And then he said, as far as when you would see them, it's just a matter of when it makes sense to have them. Yeah. So this could be it. I mean, if they are doing a Noble Bear and a Sons of the Red Star, maybe this is the time where it makes sense to have those. I would be all for it. So
some sea creatures too would be great.
Yeah. That's another thing they've talked about is that there's a lot of water in the land of Mythos. So
I know people say that, you know, with fantasy you're a little more limited with the sci-fi stuff, and to an extent I understand that, but there's a lot of ground they can still stretch out with in fantasy, and I'm sure there's already a lot of stuff they have planned. It's just time to get there, but
and then Leland says, or it could be pure blood werewolves versus turned werewolves. So mermaids,
I knew he was going to say that too. So New York City figure fanatic. That's Kevin.
I think if we got a werebear before we got just a regular bear, people might be upset though, because they've been talking about a regular bear for a while. So might want to get a regular bear first.
I would love to see more pets, more sidekicks.
Yeah, Joe H says could be two new factions. That would be cool. Like I said, I don't have any insider knowledge, and it wasn't officially confirmed. But the fact that Jeremy told Steven and he's going to be happy, and I know Steven is a very big Barbarian fan, I would say we're good indication that we're at least getting some form of Barbarian at the very least in November. So
that would be cool.
Yeah.
So dialing back to November real quick, you've got another table. You're going to be at Legions Con again, and you're busy at work prepping for that. So this year was your first year setting up, right? Because when you were telling your story about how you got into it, was it the Toy Con with Legions Con in 21 that you went to, or one of the other ones?
No, so my first Legions Con was when it was with Toy Con.
Okay, so you went to one of the other Toy Cons that was just a Toy Con for the first thing.
Yeah, yeah. That's the one where they gave out Sir Gerard. They were selling. That's when Sir Gerard was released.
Oh, that was Legions Con.
That wasn't.
It was still connected to Toy Con that year. It was
Toy
Con was Saturday, Sunday, and Legions Con was only on Sunday in that cafeteria room.
Yeah, that's
I was there. All right, so you're another person I was in that room with that I didn't know at the
time. So like, I always think about it that they were happening at the same time, but they were separate. So that was my first one. I was walking around just checking out. It was the first time where I saw Emil's Avengers tributes, and I was fortunate to get Jeremy to sign my Sir Gerard. I got that exclusive, and it was just, I had no thought of really getting into customs, but through every table, Kevin was just drooling at all the pieces, and he wanted to buy everything. He wanted to pick everything up. I'm like, dude, but what are you doing? But I was just there. I was observing. I was really enjoying the vibe, the people, the way everybody was, how everything was. I saw how small it was, and just from that to what we're going to this year, it's like wow, And I think everybody can agree that even last year's that room was tight. That room was packed. It was hot. There was no space for anything. I was just like, oh my goodness, and again, I got to give it up to Four Horsemen. The distribution of the con exclusives, they were working hard. They had these, nice, sweet older ladies even working there. So they got everybody that they could on board, I wouldn't be surprised if that was somebody's mother or grandmother from 4-H or something working there, So my hats off to them as well. They were trying to make it move. They were trying to make it happen, and it was a really tight space. So I'm very much looking forward to this year's venue.
So they've already shown one of the exclusives for this year. We've got the Vorgus Vermilius 2.0. What are your thoughts on that, Lenny?
I love it. I love also how the last two releases have had new transparent heads or pieces, like translucent pieces. That Demetrios, amazing. I was able to snag up two of them when they came up online, and I have another Caballer who's gonna get me one because I can't go to PowerCon, but I can go to Legions Con. So I'm hoping to get him for Legions Con, and then we'll just be able to swap. Like that's what we do in the community. So I'm just really looking forward to those figures. I love the new translucent pieces, which is actually a bottle of resin that I have also that I haven't started to work on yet. So I have a green translucent that I'm hoping to do some stuff with.
Nice. That's cool. What about that's the Saturday exclusive. Sunday, now, once again, kind of drawing a conclusion. I know Jeremy said figures for Sunday. So it sounds like it's going to be at least two figures. What do you think that we may get for the Sunday figures?
I have no clue at all. I mean, they'll throw things out of left field, that you probably think you're getting, and you're like, wrong, try again. This is what you're getting, and you're still in awe, right?
Yeah.
Your jaw still drops, right? Like, the biggest secret right now is that they said that the Demetrios is not part of Mythic Legions.
Right.
So what is he?
Yeah.
What is he for? Where is he from? Right? Like, are we getting more from whatever Demetrios is from? Is that a new? Is that the stepping stone to what's next after they release the final Horseman?
Maybe.
I don't know. Just questions. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love for it to be something cosmic. I think that would be really cool. I have heard, some things being said that it wouldn't be a cosmic, but then Trevor said that that's not official. So, I don't really know what to think, but something cosmic would be cool. Something figure obscura would be cool. Another, tribute for somebody in the community would be awesome. But I'm sure, like you, whatever we think it's going to be probably something different, and it's probably going to be amazing. So I'm just excited for whatever it is. I don't know, Jesse, you got any thoughts on what you think it might be?
I mean, I have thoughts, but I mean, I think it would be really cool. That came out wrong. I think it would be a really nice time to do the Justin Dwarf. I think that would be a great place to do that when the community's all together. But I don't know if that one's ever actually going to get released or not widely. But I think that would be really cool. I'm banking on probably some sort of black and red continuous theme. Because the Sir Gerard was black and red, the Furious Four were black and red, and they were tributes. I feel if it's going to be a tribute and not the Justin one, it'll be something black and red. Or
because
because
black and red.
Yeah, and so is the unknown one. So like all of them have been black and red to an extent, but because that's what I'm thinking,
Probably be like blue and gold.
They're gonna swerve, it's gonna be like, like translucent gold or something. Yeah.
I think it would be a good time for a Walter tribute. I think that would be a good one.
I think we're far past that. It should have, it needs to happen.
Yeah, I think
Lennon cookie 2-pack.
I think if anybody deserves a tribute at this point, it would be Walter. So that would be
absolutely.
and I mean, we know how much Walter absolutely loves this stuff. And I think, out of anybody that could get a tribute, he would probably appreciate that more than anybody ever could. He would be giddy, as more giddy than he already is. So
Yep.
We'll see what it is. Like I said, whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be amazing.
A Walter Troll skeleton.
Yeah, that's what NYC just said. Walter Troll. JG saying Walter the Bard. That'd be cool.
Walter the charismatic cult leader.
Star said is Trevor gotten a tribute. No, we did talk about a Trevor Nate 2-pack that would be great, and they would just have the same head, and nobody would know which one's which. Yeah,
but
that would be really cool. That really would be cool.
Yeah,
just depending on how you light it, it looks like.
People. Carver says tributes in a 2-pack, Legion's Lair, Legion's Lounge. Who knows? Maybe it could be a Jesse and Curtis. I don't know.
Hey,
look at Trevor. Look at Trevor's comment. All I can say is that one of the picks I took of the second day exclusive really love.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
I will say the 2-pack exclusive that he took the picture of last year was an amazing shot, and I know a bunch of people bought prints of it at Legion's Con. So if he's saying that he really loves the pick, then I would say that there's probably a good chance that will be for sale at Legion's Con. And I'm excited for that because anytime I can add some of Trevor's work to my collection, I'm all for it.
Well, now everybody needs to go out and scour everything that Trevor has said he loves about Mythic Legion, like find out things that he said the most that are his favorite things.
Yeah.
And start idea bombing the Cabal with it.
There you go. Jesse, although I think tributes of you and I would be good, I think we're probably about 12 to 15 years off before we get to that level.
I'm just happy to
get through
there,
like a million other people before they get to us.
If you guys are 12, 15, I'm like 20, 25. I also want to add though, I have Brian Lynn, which is Carvar Customs. Mm-hmm. He's working on a diorama for me that's gonna be for this mariachi and Day of the Dead.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm really excited about it. He has sent me some of the layout designs. He sent me a picture of the preliminary work. So it's definitely going to have Mexican town type building feel. Mm-hmm. And I'm excited for it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. For last year's Legion Con, for it to be your first one, I really loved your display setup. And I think that's, obviously you go from the different tables at Legion's Con and everybody has kind of different customs they've done and different whatever, but the way that you display it is also something as well. Like some people kind of have it just on the table. Some people have like dios. Some people have, like tiered things that they put them on. So it's interesting to see the different display options as well at Legion's Con. I really liked yours. I thought it was good. And Jesse, I know he built, 2 amazing dios, one for each day, that were really awesome as well. So
they were massive. They were massive dios.
Oh yeah. That one.
I'm still trying to get official measurements for if an additional, because you can add on the table or whatever. From the hotel. I'm trying to find out. I can't start building it till I know what that additional table is going to be. So I know what my space is going to be.
Leela says Nate and Trevor is a 2-headed ogre. That would be great. I totally want that. I want a 2-bad version, like 2-bad tribute with Nate and Trevor as the heads.
That'd be hilarious.
You can have Bill as a goblin on their back.
Yeah. Brian said he's actually working on my dial right now.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
I'm pretty sure, I haven't seen it, but I'm pretty sure it's going to have lights on it, would be my guess.
Hey, listen, you know what? I told him the feel that I wanted. I send them random pictures. I said, you're not limited to the pictures, but this is just a feel. Go for it.
Sorry, I just saw Joe's comment.
Yeah, me too.
So it'll be two
Same
bodies
head,
going
bodies.
into one head.
Oh my goodness.
It'll be a head with two neck holes.
Yeah, so I told Brian, listen, just do it, bro. Just do it. You know, same day that I told him, he drew out a design. I said, that looks amazing. Go for it.
Very cool. No, I can't wait to see it.
Well, do you have anything else? Obviously, Legion's Con's in November. Do you have anything between now and then that you want to promote for everybody watching? Any kind of shows or things, sales that you got coming up or anything?
So, Retrospect Leland, New York City Figures Fanatic, Kevin KN, and myself, Kingpin Customs, we're going to be at ToyCon. We're going to all be sharing a large space with tables in there. You know, I'm not really going to take a lot of things. I will take some things and probably take some exclusive things. This is more for, I'm supporting Kevin. He needs to get rid of a bunch of stuff. I fully support him in getting rid of a bunch of stuff. He knows why. So, but you know, I'll probably have like maybe a third of the table and just do a little small display there. So I'll really be looking forward to just spending some time there, talking to people, chatting it up. Looking forward to Legion's Con. Looking forward to the 4H table, what they have that I can buy. Curtis, you need anything, let me know. I'll ship it to you. I got no problem. You know, and like I did it last year for Legion's Con, like the Legion's Con exclusives. Like I bought a case of each, put them in the Cabal, boom, shipped them out. I had no problem with that.
Yeah.
You know, I got no problem. Yeah, you know, I'm going to add a little percentage because it is labor intensive, you know, but it's not like I'm trying to get a house or a car from it. If anything, whatever I get, I put it back into the craft. It'll allow me to buy more, you know, resin, paints, because all that stuff is expensive, you know?
Yeah.
So if the hobby itself can support itself, why the hell not?
Absolutely. Okay. Anything else?
Nothing else from my part. I'm just looking forward to everything that's happening.
I did have one comment that I had starred from earlier that I wanted to throw up here. Joe had said when we were talking about kind of the G-Con, he said Barbarians and the Return of the Mercurians to wipe them out. I am 1,000,000% all for this. I love the Mercurians. I would love to see an updated helmet for the Mercurians. So if we got some updated Mercurians to destroy the Barbarians, I'm all for that. So I don't know what you guys think.
I hope the Barbarians crush them. I mean, I'm all down for more cool new parts, but yeah, I want the Noble Bear to win.
Yeah. Thank you, Elder. Appreciate it. Yeah, it was definitely a fun show. So we appreciate you being on, Lenny, and it's been a great time. So
I want to add one more thing because I like everybody being supported. So in case anybody's curious, I do work with two sculptors. One of them obviously is Jason Rodriguez, which everybody knows. I also work with Gianluca, which I believe Len from Wolf King works with as well.
Yep.
Both amazing people to work with, both amazingly talented, and they both have different styles, which is in its own, it's amazing. So, you know, if anybody wants any custom work, hit them up. They will work with you and, you know, get new pieces out there. Let's make some more stuff for everybody to be able to do.
Beautiful.
Very cool. And people can find you on Instagram right there at Kingpin_customs_NYC to check out all those pictures I scrolled way too fast through earlier.
That's all right.
To see all your awesome stuff. So,
and as we get towards the end of the year, they should look for your post as far as Secret Santa goes, because
Yep.
You've already committed to it, and there's no backing out now. So there we go.
No backing out.
For the 26 people that have watched the show to live tonight,
They're
there's
going to
no
hold you
backing out.
accountable.
But Lenny,
Beautiful.
thank you so much for being here tonight. We really appreciate you hanging out and talking with us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We're gonna bounce you out here. So if you need to take off, that's cool. If not, just hang in the green room for a minute. We're just gonna wrap up here.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, Lenny. All right, Curtis. Next week. Well, it's after 11, so if you didn't get your Outpost Axios order in, too bad. You gotta wait for it to go to conventions or show up at your retailers. But next week, we have the one and only Wolf King himself, Len LaGuardia, joining us on the shelf.
The real headband master.
The real headband, the man of many hats, will be here next Sunday night at 9:00. Looking forward. We've been trying to get Len on for a while, and
yeah, he's a busy dude. He's hard to schedule.
He's a busy dude. No, I totally understand. But yeah, we'll be here with Len next Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else? We've got OffWorld going, which we talked about at the beginning.
Yeah, this upcoming Friday will be what we call an OffWorld off week. So basically just bullshitting. So if you want to tune in, that's great. There won't be a whole lot of scheduled topics. The following week no Dooch agenda. The following week we will be back with our episode 3, which will have a full Dooch agenda. And we will have some topics that we'll advertise and stuff like that. Once again, check out the Legendati group on Facebook, which has all your Legends verse information that you may need. So there you go. I do have one last thing.
Yeah.
People are starting to get their intern notices of people that were drawn. Yeah. So congratulations out there to anybody that got that. My son actually got drawn for intern. So him and my wife are going to intern.
Very cool.
I would really like to join them if possible. So if anybody out there has an extra spot and they're looking for a good, partner in crime, I'm available. Hit me up. I buy pizza. I'm a good kisser. So all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, there you go. Win a date with Curtis if you take him to
there you go.
Intern. All right, Curtis. It has been fun as always, folks. Thanks for joining us out there in the chat.
You didn't talk about your stuff. What you got going on?
What do I got going on? Same old stuff. I got Mythic Minute coming up Thursday night. I don't know where I'm taking it since I'm done reading the Cosmic Legion bios. I'll be updating my Patreon this week with some more. Apparently, one of my Patreons likes seeing weird old pictures of me. So
yeah,
we'll be there. And
we got the dude picture last week, which was, if you guys if you're not on Jesse's Patreon and you missed out the picture of him being the dude, let me tell you, you missed out on some good stuff because it is awesome. And it's not too late. You can join his Patreon today and see that. As well as the Mohawk picture of Jesse. So we're getting some good content on there.
Yes. And it's I'm writing my book and reading through the chapters there.
Absolutely.
If you want to see the exclusive content. Anyway. Off week next week for OffWorld, and then we'll be back in 2 weeks for that. We'll be back next Sunday night with Len LaGuardia. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being you. Thanks for sharing. And as always, what's on your shelf?